guys, so this video we're going to demonstrate a technique for taping the foot called low-dye taping. Now low-dye taping is a technique we use very commonly for people that are coming back from certain types of lower limb injuries, shin splints, some tendinitis or tendinopathies of various tendons around the foot and ankle. Plantar fasciitis is another one we use it for commonly, and even people that do have flat feet, to decide whether or not orthotics may or may not be a good option for their treatment moving forwards. So the idea behind the low-dye taping is what we're trying to do is trying to take pressure off certain muscles and tendons by supporting the arch of the foot so that those muscles and tendons don't have to do such a job. So this particular taping is done by applying some tape around the sole of the foot, and it comes in about 3 parts. So let's start the demo and then talk about it as we go. So to start off with, I like to keep the foot in a neutral position. We're trying to effectively support the medial longitudinal arch. So we anchor like a horseshoe around the base of the foot. Now you can use, again, like our other taping videos, you can use the white Fix-A-Mole or Underfix to apply to the skin as protection in case you are allergic to the zinc oxide in this tape. But we'll go straight for the technique rather than worry about that. So to start off with, I put some tape down there. Start just further into the foot from the big knuckle of the big toe, and then I wrap it around like a horseshoe and tear it, and that's your anchor. So tape sticks better to tape than it does to skin, so by putting the anchor there, we can then apply the next pieces of tape to the tape. Then we get the thicker tape, so that was the 2.5 centimeter centimeter width, and then this is the 3.8 centimeter width. Now what I'm doing for this next stage is I'm effectively starting the tape on the outside, and I'm not pulling it, I'm just laying it down taut to support the medial longitudinal arch. So when the patient does put their foot down, these bands pull tight and it stops the arch from collapsing. So I usually use about 4 or 5 pieces that start on the outside and they pull to the inside. And you don't want to have any creases with this tape, because that will cause some discomfort and annoyance to the athlete. So as I was saying before, I'm applying outside to inside and I'm sticking tape to tape. And with the size of this particular foot, you'll get away with 4, maybe 5 pieces. So there we are there. So there's step 2. Step 3 for me is then a fan which I create, starting, and I use this fairly commonly with plantar fasciitis, but I'll usually start at the insertion of the plantar fascia down at the heel, and then I will run down the middle of the foot, and then I'll fan out from there with my second piece. And then fan the other way with my third piece, like that. Now some people will find that can be enough. Others who need a little bit more support like to have the next variation added to it. So for that variation, I tear the tape first, I put it down on the outside, and I come through here, and then this piece across the sole of the foot, it's a bit tricky, will actually give more support to the arch, and I tear where I started. So it's a bit like a figure 6, starting there, coming around there, and finishing where you start. Now you could do 1 or 2 pieces of that particular tape depending on how much support you wanted for the arch, but we'll just do 1 for the sake of this demonstration, and then I just lock it all in using the 2.5 centimeter tape. So it doesn't come apart. And effectively that's the job. That hasn't looked, the creases there aren't too good, but that's okay. To lock it in from the top, I usually don't want to use rigid tape because it gets too tight around this part of the foot. So for that, I'll always use the underfix and just lay that over loosely to lock it in from the top. And that will do the job.